Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa, and it is Wednesday. It's raining out there, but there's still so much to discuss. Football is on the horizon, international football that is. The Nations League matches are coming this weekend. So it will give a lot of international team managers the opportunity to view their players close up just in time for the Qatar World Cup in November. Now, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan had a moment of joy on Tuesday, September 20th, when FIFA President Gianni Infantino gifted him a unique football with his name on it. Erdogan, who played semi-professionally in his youth, smiled when he saw his name on the ball. He then headed the ball and told Infantino that he will go to Qatar World Cup later this year. The World Cup will begin with the opening ceremony on Sunday, November 20th, before the host nation, Qatar, kicks off the tournament.
In Anambra State, yes. Nobody has been brought to book. Nobody has been brought to book.
People are scared there. The governor has brilliant idea, but now it can't work now because you see how the state is. Now the Igbos or the indigenous that are outside, doing well outside, I hope they will come back to set up businesses.
When they see that, they're not coming back now.
Yeah, they can't.
They'll be scared of coming back.
They cannot come.
So again, I think that the psyche
if you go to
is
the
everywhere.
north, the same thing. So
our psyche needs to be rejigged. I don't know, it's like they should just give birth to every Nigerian again and put something in us.
Let me throw a little bit of humor. So Yoruba people to the rescue. If the East is burning down and the North is burning down.
This is not lobbying. So Yoruba people have their own. We all have.
See, the country is
our own.
We just want to have our own and their party.
We just want to party. We just want to party.
And shout. That's what we want to have.
Let's not be fooled by the fact that you think Lagos is really safe, so you are okay.
No, we don't know. Obviously, what she's talked about, those are the things that are happening in Lagos.
Generally speaking. Because people think, it's happening in this, it's happening in us, no concerns. I did Lagos.
The mob killing happening in Lekki.
No, the question is,
almighty Lekki.
It's too close for comfort.
Anything
can happen anytime.
Yeah. To be honest, you know what I'm looking for to? I am looking for someone to just come and shake the table, turn everything upside down, and give APC a run, a serious run for their money, both in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole.
Politicians
but I think the same people moving from PDP to APC, APC to PDP.
Like there are some people now. Look at Banky W just won House of Reps for Etiosa local government. There's hope.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, where are these NSAS people? This is time for all of them to come out. I would have thought to see more of them in politics. I hope they do. I hope they do.
But to me, I don't see any reason as changing parties to solve problems. Because if you see a man that has a very nasty character and you call him XYZ, his name is XYZ.
I'm not voting for parties.
The man changed his name to ABC.
It's still the same.
It's still the same person.
Me, I'm not voting for party. I'm voting for individuals. Right? Yeah. So I may vote for one person in APC for gubernatorial. I may vote for somebody in Labour Party. That's what I'm going to do.
We have great Nigerians, good Nigerians.
Oh, we do. If you travel across Africa, you know.
They don't have the necessary maybe financial or support or grassroots mobilization to get there. Because some of these so-called
we would probably go on and on
politicians
and on
that are corrupt, they have held captive the people.
We would probably go on and on and on because we have so much to say and very little time to say it in. So we thank you for your attention while the program lasted. We hope our conversations resonated with you and that in some small way encouraged you to contribute to your immediate environment. Little drops of water, they say, makes a mighty ocean. Don't forget, the advocacy continues on our social media platforms on Facebook, PlusTvAfrica, hashtag The Advocate NG, and on Twitter and Instagram at PlusTvAfrica, hashtag The Advocate NG. To catch up with previous broadcasts, go to plustvafrica.com/The Advocate NG. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. Join us next week, same time on this station. Let's keep advocating for a better society. See you next time.
Bye.
Welcome to The Advocate on Plus TV Africa, where we discuss thought-provoking topics in an atmosphere of seriousness, decisiveness, and laughter. Here, we call a spade a spade. Today, I'm talking about the actions, or rather the inaction of the government to mob action. In the same vein, Elijah is speaking on diversity and freedom in religion and in Nigeria. Ifedolapo is looking at how running away, or jakpa, is now the new normal. Sit back, and after this break, we'll be here to dissect it all. Stay with us. Mob action and government lack of action. In Nigeria and by Nigerians, 2 persons were burned to death by a mob in Ijesha, Lagos State, over an alleged theft of mobile phones. Deborah Samuel was gruesomely executed and her remains burned by fellow students over alleged blasphemy in Sokoto. A teenager was burned to death by a mob on accusations of stealing a motorcycle in Auchi, Edo State. And David Imo was beaten up and set ablaze by commercial motorcyclists in Lekki Phase 1 over some yet-to-be-known crime. All these in May alone. Bear in mind that these are the ones that made the headlines. What of the ones that did not? This is our reality. Next door in Ghana, a Nigerian stole a mobile phone. And what did they do to him? He was made to clear the gutters in the community, after which he was given water to have a bath and thereafter fed. This is a Nigerian in a foreign country. How is it that he was shown mercy when his own brothers would have put a tie around his neck and set him on fire? What has happened to us as a people where we have become so completely lacking in empathy and basic human decency? The Nigerian police and other law enforcement agencies have a duty of care to protect the lives and property of her citizens, as well as defend the Constitution. However, it's beginning to look like we're in a free-fall where everything goes and everyone can do as they please without fear of being held accountable. Now, what does the Constitution say? According to the 1999 amended Constitution, every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in the execution of a sentence by a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. Every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly no person shall be subject to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. A person shall be entitled to a fair hearing within a reasonable time by a court or other tribunal established by law. A suspect shall be accorded humane treatment, having regard to his right to the dignity of his person, and not be subjected to any form of torture, cruelty, inhuman, or degrading treatment. A suspect shall be brought before the court as prescribed by this act or any other written law, or otherwise released conditionally or unconditionally. So, the question that begs to be answered is, for all these crimes, who has been arrested? In the case of Deborah, for instance, 2 people have been arrested, and for what crime, you may wonder? For conspiracy and inciting public disturbance, rather than for murder. In Lagos, 4 people were arrested, but have not been charged, and the governor has banned commercial motorcycles in some areas of the state. So my question is this the totality of it?
Before you forgot to add that the Nigerian that was shown empathy or love in Ghana, he also found love. You know, after eating there was a lady that fell in love with him, allegedly.
Me,
I saw it online, actually. So, this is a very serious issue, actually. I remember the very first day of my life, I saw a human being born today that was in nursery school. I remember, I can't forget. I was one of my guardians was taking me to school at that early age, and I saw a corpse being burnt. I was like, what happened? He was trying to close my eye. Don't look. I mean, being too inquisitive. I saw it. And guess what? When I go home, I couldn't sleep. I was scared. And he told me, who asked you to look? And I was like, why would they do this to people? It's inhumane. It's barbaric. Can't take laws into your hands. Our country, we have to evolve. Imagine what happened to the Uniport 4 students in 2012, the ALU4. Those boys did not rob, according to what we found out. They said they only went, although what they did, perhaps they didn't do it properly. They said they wanted to go and collect their money from someone, and the person collected money for them from a business, and when they came to maybe harass him to collect back their money, business gone wrong, he shouted, thief, thief, and that's how people came and just gathered them. Without asking what happened, they killed them. Then I remember sometime between late 90s and early 2000, one of my cousins was telling me of one incident that happened at their area. I think that was really some years back. That period, a woman, her son, according to her, stole from her, and she started shouting, thief, thief. People came and started beating the child. Later, so they wanted to burn. He said, no, my pikin, no burn him. And there was another incident that happened during the lockdown. His young boy stole what, Gary? Remember that story? And he was burnt. We didn't find out. In Lagos here, that was during the lockdown. So why, this is sheer wickedness to me. There is nothing like trying to prove a point. Oh, let's kill them so that robbery will stop, or this is wrong. Many of these people that were burnt alive were actually innocent. Many of them were not guilty.
I think we should look at the fundamentals of when these mob killings happen, where does it happen? Who are the people that participate in it? We see that most people that participate in it are either illiterate or extremely poor people, or people that have nothing much going on for them. And mostly people that maybe they are poor, no hope for them, the government isn't doing much for them, society isn't doing much for them, and they probably go to bed hungry, they wake up still no hope, begging for food and looking for meat. When you get burnt, when they mob you, that's the worst thing that can happen.
Not me.
No. When they mob someone, okay, the mentality is, even though I go to bed hungry, I don't have hope, I don't have anything going on for my life, I'm still better than that person that was mobbed.
Okay, so to be honest with you, I hear you, but just disagree with you. And the classic example is Deborah. They were not poor. They're students. They were not illiterates. They're students in a polytechnic that you would assume have a level of enlightenment. And for me, I think what I'm really trying to raise here is not even just it's a mob, there's a mob mentality. There's something that happens when a mob takes over that really nobody can control. What really bothers me,
in that sense.
What bothers me, sorry Elijah, may I just finish? What really bothers me is the government's lack of inaction and the fact that all these things that we've talked about, they've happened, but no one has been convicted. No one has been brought to book. So look at Deborah, for instance. People have been arrested for conspiracy and disturbing the public peace. Who's been arrested for the murder? The one in Lekki as well. Yes, dude, the government has banned the motorcycles, but
it will not solve the problem.
It's not bringing the person back to life.
Yeah. For you to I think, arrest someone for murder, you need to know what final hit killed the person, and you need to know the person that made a final hit to kill the person, because that means you're accusing about 50 people of murder, which is not possible.
Well, some of them may be responsible for manslaughter. So if it's murder, well, some of them may be responsible
in the first place.
I think the person that started it in the first place, in the case of the Lekki situation, the Okada men that first came to start the opera are the ones that are being arrested, and if I can't justify it. It is appalling.
There is no justification.
I heard about the Lekki thing, and then I heard about Deborah. I'm a Muslim, and I heard that the Deborah situation had something to do with religion and this thing. And then you see, we bring a quote in our Quran that says that we shouldn't take a life. It is there. And then some people misinterpret it as we are fighting for God and this thing. And like, it's like, how many people, like even me, Dami Muslim, I'm scared of going to this side of the place where Deborah was schooling. I won't mention the state. I'm scared of going there because they are extremists. They won't, if I'm telling them Islam is my religion, I understand you and this, and they won't key into what I'm trying to say because they will think like maybe I'm whitewashed or I'm westernized and this. And they're extremists. You can't really make sense with a stupid person.
Okay, the thing is, from what you said, it's not, I would disagree with you with regard to what you said initially about the persons that are involved in mob action are usually illiterate, nothing much for them. It's not actually true. It's mob mentality.
Mob mentality.
When I was in secondary school, I remember we were having a conversation with our English teacher, and he said something that there was a day he was driving through the popular Vaux Agri, because that period, almost every weekday when we come back from school, we're going towards Vaux, you must see a dead body along that Vaux wedding. Yeah, they've killed somebody, they've burnt someone, because there's always robbery there. Now, guess what? He said there was someone that was alleged of stealing, and before you know, look at that, they started beating him. The next thing, the woman parked her vehicle, came down from her vehicle, say, I have fuel, let's burn him. Now that woman, according to him,
did not know what was happening.
A poor woman, she's not.
And she had no idea what was happening.
It's just mob mentality, like you said. So the government have to be decisive. Number one, nobody has the right to take laws into their hands.
Yeah.
If you feel somebody do something wrong, hand over the person to the police. Let the police do their job. And they should also pass a bill that anybody involved in mob action, if they can arrest the person, if you're involved one way or remotely or directly, the person should spend some time in jail because it's wrong.
I think our problem is not that there are no laws. It's just that they are not being enforced. So pass a bill all you can. What are the existing laws? Nobody is enforcing it. And what makes me really sad is the fact that our law enforcement agencies appear to be completely impotent and unable to do anything about it. I mean, in Lekki, you heard that, the police came and the mob overpowered the police. And, I mean, that is just so sad. Anyway, up next is Elijah. Stay with us.
Hello there, and thanks for joining us for yet another edition of our program. It's been a very busy week, full of intrigues and maneuvers, especially in the political arena.
Expected, John. The stage is almost set with the actors putting on their best performances ever. The question on the lips of a lot of people, I inclusive, is whose interest really is the drama that we see around and the drama that we expect to unfold eventually. Now,
yes. Well, Helen, certainly you're in the spirit.
I am.
Okay, like they say. And the world indeed is a stage, and we are all actors. We either play lead roles, supporting roles, or we're in the audience just watching. Yeah?
And we're either leaders or we are followers. So today on the show, we are ready to engage in yet another interesting and impactful conversation. And it's centered on leadership and age. Welcome to Today with John and Helen, live, your wholesome family show on PlusTvAfrica.
Came before the Helen.
They are all my
They are the same.
can't go anywhere.
Well, our conversation is on leadership and age, like you heard, and it's all encompassing from the family, corporate world, politics, and what have you. We have a guest who has seen it all, like they say, talking about leadership. The twist, however, is in what age has got to do with leadership. I am John Senaya, or could we say Senaya John?
Senaya John, John Senaya.
And it's great knowing you're there. Welcome on board.
All right, so John, the answer to that question and many others will come, I believe, after the break, because our guest is already seated. And he's ready to go. This is Today with John and Helen once again, and we shall be back in a bit. Please, please, please don't go anywhere.
Yeah, thanks for staying there. Well, would I be correct to say that leadership knows neither age, race, nor gender? Well, leadership is simply the act of guiding a team, a country, people, or an individual to achieving set goals through purposeful direction and motivation. Would that be right, Helen?
Yeah. Well, the guest will tell us more. I see he's nodding his head. Young or old, some believe that leaders are born, while others say that they are made. But before all of that, John, anything impactful, anything remarkable, on your mind that we can share with our friends out there this morning?
On my mind, I think during the week I read that a certain pastor, showed his heart of kindness to the family of the fallen hero. Yeah,
true. Some weeks ago, I mean, a lot of us were really thrown into mourning when we saw that young girl being beaten and burned alive in a secondary school environment in Kano. And we had so many questions, But someone just rose from in Nigeria and said, this girl should have been the light to this family. And now that light has been taken out. What can we do? And he offered the whole family circle. We are told that he's relocated all of them to Port Harcourt. He's giving them accommodation. He's giving the younger brother full scholarship abroad, And he's done so much for the father and the mother of the child.
Yeah.
That's a lot of relief.
We can only hope that we have many more Nigerians that will be able to do that.
Especially in a week where we're celebrating the younger ones. It was Children's Day yesterday.
It was Children's Day yesterday.
Yes. So the whole week, children were celebrated.
Yeah, it brought me a whole feeling of nostalgia. Remember in those days when we would, all file out and go to the race course here in Lagos, just for Children's Day. And it always was exciting for us.
I just keep, I hope that it's not just a celebration every 365 days.
Yeah.
That really the plight of the children are taken into consideration and their lives are made better policy-wise and implementation-wise, right from the family up to, the highest level.
And it has to be across the country. Because
across
now we're beginning to see some states doing better in some areas than others. So there has to be, some. Well, anyway, let's wish our children a belated happy Children's
It's still on.
Day.
Because I'm sure this weekend a lot of them are going out to have fun.
Course. Yes. So we say that age and leadership is the reason we're here today. And we're lucky to have with us Dr. Olukunle Iyonda, who comes with an impressive and rather intimidating profile in this field. Dr. Iyonda holds an MBA from Olabisi Onabanjo University, an MSc in corporate governance from Leeds Beckett University, and a PhD in information system management from Walden University, Minnesota in USA. And I refuse to be intimidated by all of this.
Our guest is a persuasive performance-driven and energetic leader with more than 20 years of comprehensive management positions and achievements across various industries. He's been in manufacturing, he's been in healthcare, he's been a management consultant and in higher educations. He is, at the moment, managing partner, Design Thinkers Group, West Africa, as well as founder, CEO, Broots Consulting.
Yes, Dr. Iyonda told us off camera when we asked him how come he got so many certificates, and he said it was out of nothing to do. Well, I wish I would have nothing to do to be able to get all of this. Dr. Iyonda, by the way, works also with organizations to help build capabilities, strategy development, innovation, change, leadership, and corporate culture. He is Senior Fellow, Nigeria Leadership Institute, Fellow, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Associate, Nigeria Institute of Taxation, Member, American College of Healthcare Executives, Member, Chartered Institute of Management UK, and so much more. Join us. Join us to welcome to the studio Dr. Olukunle Iyonda. You are finally, you've landed. Finally.
Oh boy.
You're welcome, sir.
And we had to, keep a lot of them out to land.
You're welcome.
All right. It's a privilege, sir.
Thank you so much.
To be able to share this space with you on this show today.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And it's a privilege to be with you guys this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So age and leadership is the thrust of today's show. Can you give us an opening remark?
Well, very interesting. Maybe my opening remark, the way I want to put it, is to tell people, especially those who have been with a lot of agitations concerning, leadership and age, to say that age has nothing whatsoever to do with leadership. It's been proven over and over again. Okay, if you talk of wisdom, well, it has something to do with leadership.
Okay.
However, wisdom and leadership has nothing to do with age. So, and I believe that why are we even bothering ourselves with the issue of age when we're supposed to be looking at competence and success? Because over the years, or if you look at the history of human beings, you will discover that there are people that have led at a very young age. Why? Because they are able to show competence. They'll be able to see that there's a problem that needs to be solved for millions of people. So they are not waiting to be fed. I think that what led us to begin to think of maybe gender, maybe age is an entitlement mentality. Wherein we just feel that we have to sit down and somebody has to give it to us because I'm a woman, somebody has to give it to me because I'm young, somebody has to give it to me because I'm an elder. All right. Not necessarily because of value we are able to create.
Okay, so Dr. Yoda, you've answered all of our questions in your opening remarks.
No, he hasn't.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to take them one after the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to break each aspect down. Because we have all day, in quotes. We have all day. And really, this is a subject that we really must address because it's right there at the tip of our tongues. It's on the forefront.
Right in our faces.
Yes. Now, let's start. There are two sides to this leadership question, young and old. Is anyone too young or too old to be a leader? Let's break that down.
All right. If I want to, if we look at it on the surface, the answer would be no one is too young, no one is too old. However, that's just on the surface. Yes, somebody can be too young to be a leader. If you're an infant cannot lead, for instance. All right? Because I believe that a leader is someone who knows left from right. Anybody who can know the left from right, who can distinguish between good and evil, is qualified to be a leader. However, if you become too old and you become senile, can you still be a leader? So you can get too old, become senile, so your mental capacity is not there anymore, so you cannot lead.
Okay.
Or you become too young, you're an
young.
infant that you cannot distinguish between good and evil, between right and wrong, okay, then you cannot lead. So long as your mental state is okay, you can lead, regardless of gender, regardless of age.
Okay.
So he walked into the next question.
Okay.
He walked right into it. So I'll leave it to
Yes. No, he walked right into it. Because he has said only when someone has become senile is unable to probably take that leadership initiative, and maybe when the strength is no longer there and all that. That's the only time that age, in terms of old, become on age and leadership.